not just about its mission, promoting ideas that are worth spreading, but it's about how ideas can bring people closer together. Like the talks that have been shared today, I think all of it has touched us at some level. And this is something that I really love about that. And given the competitive nature of Hong Kong with my home city, Singapore, never would I expect to be at an event that's opened by a Singaporean and closed by another Singaporean. But I do think what I have to share pales in comparison to what has been shared in terms of cultural richness. I'll do my best to actually go closer to the spirit of TED, about ideas that are worth spreading. Okay. Apart of my work, I'm actually a digital creative director, and I specialize in campaigns that has a lot of social resonance. Okay, I really hate to use this word, but I'm going to use it anyway. The word viral is something that has been associated with many of my campaigns. But I feel that this word is very overused, but poorly understood. It's not viral because it's viral. Viral is an end result. When you do a video, you put it on YouTube, that's an online video. It only becomes a viral video if you get millions of views. But what's the process about getting there? I think in the short time that we have, I'm going to go through quickly a key fundamental about what I do in my work. Tension or passion? That's a very, very interesting word. Why tension and passion has to be placed together? I think for a lot of us, tension and passion is something that has been somewhat lacking in advertising, especially where Asia is concerned. Everything's so hard sell. It's about the product benefits. It's about how they're different, and the advertising just stops there, and they expect people to respond to it. But this is something that is truly wrong. Because at this day and age, there's so many media available for us. Our attention span is actually much shorter than in the past. So in the past, advertising could go along the lines of selling dreams, promising hope, but we are at the age where we have to start selling drugs for advertising to sustain. And this is something that I want to share with you all.
Welcome to the ad agency. What do you do?
I am a digital strategic guru/ninja.
What the fuck does that mean?
If you don't know, then you are too traditional to understand.
Well, what do you do on a typical day?
I blog. And I tweet.
Fuck you.
I also make PowerPoint presentations about blogging and tweeting.
Fuck you. Do you do any actual work?
Yes, I have a Tumblr.
You are shitting me.
Sometimes I post pictures of things that inspire me and share links to other blogs.
Have you ever built a website from scratch? Or written a commercial? Do you know HTML5?
No, but I blog about all that stuff and send links.
I hate you.
I just tweeted that you hate me. And got a promotion and a raise.
Oh God. Why?
Because I am an expert. Also, I have very cool hair, and I'm learning to juggle.
But all you do is talk about work that other people actually have to do.
Right. I am a ninja.
No. You are a smug asshole who is doing the same stuff on the web as everyone else. Only you get paid to do it at work, and I have to do it in the tiny amount of free time I have left after redesigning your PowerPoint presentation.
No. I am a ninja. Here, let me send you a link about maximizing your free time.
I already know how to surf the web.
Well, then here is a link to a bunch of cool digital work from Belgium.
Fuck you. I know what cool digital work looks like. Are you going to help me get some produced?
I am going to blog. And tweet. And Tumblr.
This whole industry is falling into the shithole. Are you going to fix it?
No. I have to catch a first-class flight to a conference in Milan. Do you follow me on Foursquare?
Foursquare is a pointless app for twats.
That's too bad, because I have my own badge. I am a ninja.
The first thing that comes out of their mouth is, what are they going to do for digital? What are they going to do for social? Should they go into Facebook, Twitter? And most of the time, I would tell them that actually you shouldn't really even start thinking about what channels to use. The key thing that you want to identify is the insight. At this day and age, it's no longer an age that's ruled by big ideas, but it's an age that's ruled by insights that drive such big ideas, that makes this big ideas travel across all these different channels that invokes a response among the target audience that is in line with what your campaign wants. This, for me, is the first starting point as a creative director. It's very hard for me to explain what tension is at the very beginning, but I'm just going to bring this example clearly. Tension is not a voodoo advertising that just came out of nowhere. It actually started in 1960s with DDB, an agency that actually learned a lot, although I haven't worked in DDB before. Tension actually came from what they call a spark plug brief. The idea was there are certain insights that are very campaignable. The moment this insight is creatively interpreted, it's able to create a response among your target audience. For this particular campaign, this is a very famous campaign for a lot of advertising professionals, but there's actually a very interesting story. When the agency met up with the client, they asked the client, so what's special about you? And the CEO, in a few seconds, said, oh, just try harder because we're number 2. And trying harder actually came as an insight that's charged with tension and actually passion. What's the tension? The tension is very simple. Most of us, we champion the underdogs. We don't like the incumbents. We don't like the industry leaders because we feel they need to cap on their shoes. So we support challengers to these kind of institutions. And this is what Avis did for the campaign. Up to now, Avis is still proud of its position as the second market player in this industry. Compare this to Hertz, the leader. Just take a look at the type of advertising. Hertz did this ad at the same time as the other as Avis. But it's very clearly can be seen that it's taken from some focus group study that women are starting to rent cars to drive as part of the liberation movement or whatever. And it came out with an ad that fits the research. Avis came out with an ad that fits the passion and tension point that's most associated with the brand. I just give a personal anecdote of what tension actually means. When I moved to China from Singapore, a Chinese creative professional challenged me just 2 days off the plane, what can you teach me about marketing in my own country? At the time, we were actually at a cafe outside, and there was a convenience store that's just nearby. And the convenience store was selling a box of new shampoo products. I think it's just flown in, the box is open, and and everything is still there. So I challenged him that each of us, we spend 1 day to actually help the store owner sell this shampoo product. So he went first. He told the store owner to put all the new products should be out in the store up front before the products pushed to the back, because the doorway was very large. Then he told the store owner to actually do something like a simple poster saying that this is new product. The store owner followed his advice, but he didn't make the sale. He didn't make any sale. The next day, it was my call, and I told the store owners 2 things. 1, just scratch out new product and write hot selling in Chinese. 2, take out 2/3 of the product from the box that it came out with. So there's only 1/3. And every time that 1/3 is sold, just top out another 1/3. I think you all can tell what is the tension point I'm injecting into this marketing. That people think that if it's hot selling, if there's only a few left, they're more inclined to do. This is basically what I introduced to every one of my campaigns, be it for integrated campaigns or for digital ad campaigns. And this is something actually I learned from Japan in my travel. I love traveling to Japan. It's a real place for otakus, or basically geeks in Japanese. But whenever I go to someone, I can't help but notice some of the small restaurants, they have, for example, a giant figurine in blue. And then when I walk into the restaurant, there are other things that are in bright fruit colors. So I actually asked the restaurant owner, why do it that way? And the answer is very, very interesting. They said that in the summer, even fat people like me who likes to eat, we would be actually turned out by the heat who actually want to have much of a hunger. So actually the coolness, the blue figuring outside actually helps dissipate this possible tension point. And when we go to a restaurant, we will be actually, our hunger pangs or our appetite will be actually brought up by the use of bright food colors. So this is something that people have been using. And the surprising thing is ad agencies don't really use it that much. So sum up again, what tension is about. If you're going to do any advertising campaign for product, for brand, for destination, or for tourism board, and you don't think anyone's going to write about it or share any content about it, then you're probably missing tension, a possible tension point, a passion point. And that's most of the time along a social truth. Christine Bogdansky in the US actually popularized tension-driven advertising at this day and age. And that's why I'm using quite a few examples from them.
Burger King knew that America loved the Whopper, but wanted to prove it. So it turned to Facebook and put the love to the test. Everybody loves adding friends, but is that simply because it's fun to see your friend list pile up? Well, what if there was a way to dump friends and get rewarded for it? And what if this turned into a race to dump them before they dumped you? Meet Whopper Sacrifice. Delete 10 friends and receive a free Whopper. A true moral dilemma, a telling choice. What do you love more? Your friends or the Whopper? A difficult question to answer. Or was it? Almost instantly, people were sacrificing their friends for Whoppers like crazy, to the tune of 200,000 friends sacrificed in just over a week. And people's burning desire to dump friends for the Whopper challenged the very concept of Facebook. Instead of embracing this new marketing opportunity and the 35 million free media impressions it received, Facebook began limiting its functionality, ultimately forcing Burger King to take it down. Whopper Sacrifice had been sacrificed. But despite the application's short-lived activation, Burger King proved what it knew to be true: that Americans love the Whopper more than they like their friends. Thanks for watching.
What they came about was they identified a very interesting tension point for the social space. That most of us have way too many friends on Facebook, and most of them are not our friends. They are friends of friends. And we are too embarrassed, shy, or very concerned about unfriending them because they might kick us. So this campaign came along. They actually gave people a perfectly good reason to unfriend people, and you can even dare them to do the same. So this is how this campaign spread, even without having paid media like print ads, television commercial push this through. Just now I gave a quote from the agency perspective. Here's a quote from the client. And it leads into my second case study. The second case study that I'm going to show you is Whopper Freakout. Basically, it's a great example of how tension and how deprivation actually affects Whopper fans. But key thing that this particular client is trying to make is that all your briefs to your agencies, to your marketing partners, they should always come with an insight that's charged with some strong form of passion or tension points. Because only then can you be guaranteed that there will be some form of passion. We're going to dissect this campaign. Just to show you actually how it actually came about. But key thing about this is, what's the tension point? That when people are suddenly told that something they're used to having, you can't have it anymore, they're going to come up with a lot of interesting responses for you. And this is unscripted. And even though the setting was staged, but the customer response was very real. In fact, this campaign actually had a few versions of it through the month. There was even an incident where people who bought Whopper, but the restaurant staff actually ended up giving them burgers from Wendy's, from McDonald's. And none of the customers liked it. They even said, I hate Wendy's, I don't like McDonald's. This is something that is very, very interesting because it shows a very basic insight. Even if we are actually referring to, for example, a travel or tourist location, what is suddenly your locations landmark suddenly disappear or it's not accessible? These are the type of scenarios that open up marketing in so many interesting ways. And this is how tension is actually played out.
We stopped selling the Whopper for one day to see what would happen.
We no longer carry the Whopper.
You don't have a Whopper?
Oh my God. They're absolutely foolish to do such a thing.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
That's about the stupidest thing I ever heard.
I want your manager at the window. Is this a joke? You cannot be serious.
The Burger King doesn't have the Whopper. They might as well change their name to Burger Queen.
Yeah.
What happened was, people freaked.
Get me a Whopper.
Okay. This is part of the brief from Crispin Porter Bogaski. It's very, very different from the type of briefs that clients give to agencies, or even the ones that agencies use themselves. But the key section that you notice is the tension. For them, it's not really a big idea. It's about the psyche of the target audience, the culture where this audience lives in or this market thrives, and whether there are any actionable insights or coiled up tension or emotions that can be used or leveraged for this particular campaign. For them, the strategy and the idea was very, very simple based on tension point. To prove that this is a favorite, we just removed it from the menu. And this was basically how the press release was written. This is not just the only interesting, successful example of how tension evolved. I'm going to come up with a few case studies of how tension has been used for travel or tourism-related campaigns. And this one is probably one that's very well known. This is done by my ex-agency, Sapient Nitro. And I'm just going to play a video for you.
Are you looking for work? Well, you may want to consider moving to Australia.
Australia's Tourism Bureau looking to fill what it is calling the best job in the world.
澳洲呢份工究竟有幾好呢？
Resides холода и глобальный...
Trabajar en la paradisíaca.
Could this be your new office? Hamilton Island, off the coast of Queensland, needs a caretaker.
Duties include feeding ocean fish, cleaning a pool, and collecting deliveries of mail.
It comes with a rent-free 3-bedroom villa with plunge pool.
All this and a salary of about $8,800 a month. As you might imagine, the regional director says response to the ad has been overwhelming.
Apart from being a very clever way to publicise an extremely beautiful part of Australia, I think what this position reflects is a desire to say to the world, look, this is a wonderful place to come and travel to.
And all you have to do is write a weekly blog.
That can't be right.
There's no catch. This is a real job.
I'd be very good at it.
You'd have to remember to feed the fish.
Video applications, including one from the Vatican.
All applicants have to do is submit a 60-second video to this website, islandreefjob.com.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm a police officer in England, and you can tell by the silly hat.
I come from the ice tundra of the world.
It's really cold here in Connecticut, and I'd love to go to your paradise.
My dad was the great entertainer, Mr. Dean Martin.
Or do you think all we do is eat sausages and sauerkraut? Well, let me prove you wrong, because I'm definitely not one of them.
Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Here I am!
Here in the north of Sweden, the sea is covered with ice. So if you want to go snorkeling, you need an icebreaker.
So we're going to allow the public to vote for their favourite candidate. We'll pick another 10, we'll fly them across to Hamilton Island for a final interview, and then pick the successful candidate.
It's very tempting.
What do you sign up for that one,
Yeah,
huh?
it sounds like tough work there.
Watch the whales.
So if you're not here tomorrow.
They accepted me. I don't think so.
In Australia.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
From the client was actually fairly normal. We need to raise awareness of Queensland as a tourist attraction. We want to bring out the beautiful coral reefs in the region. We want to let any interested tourists know that by coming here, they're actually helping to conserve these coral reefs around. And this type of brief is not going to work during the time of the financial meltdown. Because who cares for a conservation message at the time? Everyone's worried about the jobs, the job security. And that's why the strategy team actually thought of repositioning the brief. Basically just telling the client, hey, we have another brief for you. By positioning the campaign objectives to sell a job, and the job is just to protect, conserve the environment with part of the money taken from the advertising budget. And this was a very smart tactic because they identified a key tension point. Everyone's worried about the job security, some people even losing jobs. So the moment you have such an interesting job offer out in the open, people are going to respond to it. In fact, people come up with so much content to support this campaign because they really hope that it is true. And it was true. A campaign that was just started as advertising campaign became a global movement where people all around started to find so many interesting things about Queensland's coral reefs, and they actually put whatever they have found out into their video entries. And this is something that I would really want to share with you, that sometimes a direct brief isn't really as fun or as interesting as just taking a simple insight and finding a concept to make it work.